What up, everybody, and happy Halloween. I think I missed the what is up in there. What up? Anyway, what's going on, guys? Welcome back for a weekly stream. I'm already screwing things up. This is perfect. I got water here. I got tea here. I'm just, just ready to do my thing. How's everybody doing today? There's this new super chat goal thing. Let's set a timer and then a thing, and I don't know. I'm just clicking stuff. How's everybody doing? I'm clicking stuff. How you guys doing? I hope you guys are enjoying Halloween. It's just another typical day for me. Nothing special going on here. Totally normal day. I just clicked the thing. I don't know if it did anything. All right. So what's up, everybody? Let me expand my chat here. If this is your first time here, and you guys never been to one of these live streams, all you got to do is just at Mateo311, ask your question, and I will do my best to answer it. All right, let's see what's going on. So for the people who got in nice and early, thank you guys for being here. VR Ready, Mark Poppin, Kame Han, that's a new one. I don't think I've seen that name before. I'll get to your question in a minute. Kill Delta, Tyler, Onikaze, that guy's been around forever. Thanks for popping back in. Doug, what's going on, guys? Thanks for popping in. Release date for Wanderer. It looks like it's going to be December 31st. All right, but let me get back to the first question. Question, is a Ryzen 5 5600 and RX 6700 good enough for upcoming VR games? So I'm not as familiar with the AMD hardware. I've just been Intel and Nvidia for the longest time, and I think I'm gonna make the switch soon, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what their equivalent are. I think you should be able to play all of them, but maybe not, crank setting. Obviously not crank settings. Oh, a couple more people jumping in. What's going on? He doesn't have VR headset hair. Not today. Not today. I did my hair for a change. So, System Failure, what's up? Hey, yo. Glovebox Gaming, Jody. Thanks for coming in, guys. I am doing well. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm just, like I said, business as usual. I was just doing my normal, typical job. This is my normal, typical job. Absolutely nothing out of the ordinary today. Just normal stuff. Right? What about you guys? Anything special going on today? And you get those questions coming in, guys, at Mateo311 when the chat starts getting a little wild and I start missing things. Okay, so a 6700 XT is like a 3070, RTX 3070. All right, well, that's solid. You'll be able to play anything with that. Yeah, you are good. AMD used to be really behind on their drivers. So, I mean, originally back in the day, it was ATI, and they were a mess. Part of a Halloween outfit? What are you talking about? Halloween? What Halloween outfit? What are you guys talking about? I'm confused. You've been playing Asgard's Wrath too. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. And I know some people, it's not for them. It's not their cup of tea. But it was my jam. I definitely really enjoyed it. What else have you guys been playing? Obviously, I'm sure a bunch of people are playing Batman. It'd probably take around 12 hours. So I'm thinking that, those who are like super into it and have some decent cardio stamina made it through pretty fast. My tea's too hot. But does it stack? I don't know. Gotta find out. So what's going on? Normal stuff. I got a bunch of things going on. I have a new VR vest that not only has haptic feedback, but also has the electronic stimulation. So let me grab that bad boy. I'll show you guys. Come with me, camera. I haven't really tested it yet, so I can't say much about it if it's good, if it's better than B haptics. It's looking quite similar, except for the added electronic stimulation, which is only on the arms, which is weird. Um, yeah, so I don't know, but I'm gonna be testing that out. I always have new hardware laying around this place. There's sometimes hardware companies are just like, yeah, show it off, and then they're like, no, wait, and then it's like, all right, when? And then it's old, and it's like, oh yeah, we should have told you to launch it, and we forgot. Oh, all right, thanks guys. Uh, so have you tried Iron Rebellion? No, that is on my list to play. I've always wanted to play that, and I spoke to the developer a couple times too. It's just there's too many games. But Iron Rebellion looks like my style. I grew up on the old school Mech Warriors, and I loved those games. And like a mech controlling game just seems like it just makes sense for VR. Like it's one of the first things you would think of. You look like you've been in a Viking war. I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is just normal. ATI Rage 128 Pro. Man, I was back there with those with the ATI 128. I mean, God, it's been forever. I had like one of the first GPUs. I remember installing in my buddy's computer like when I was 13. Is there any news on the Deckard? You wish. You wish. I mean, there's always like some patent or some updates going on in Steam VR, but like they're up to something. They're doing something. They're fooling around, but Valve is notorious for just like not releasing things, for just like playing around. Like they have a platform that makes them tons of money, and I swear they just take like a chunk of it, not a big chunk, but they take a chunk and they say, here's our play money. Let's make hardware. Let's make a game. Let's do something. And they just mess around with it. I swear that's how they operate. Batman is good cardio. I mean, Batman isn't like Thrill of the Fight was, isn't like some other games, but Batman does get your heart rate up. It has good pacing. So unless you're doing the challenge mode, like, yeah, you'll get your heart rate up, but it'll be like, 2 minutes. And then you get to, navigate around and detective mode and swing and, get guys from the shadows. So it's got a good pacing. So it's not like, I wouldn't call it cardio. That's not a Halloween outfit. Mateo is actually part of a new VR boy band supergroup. I don't know what you guys are talking about outfit. I'm just really confused. I can get the whole, I don't have enough energy to play a lot of the game. I mean, we had access pretty damn early. I had an annoying progression bug that set me back. But yeah, I would probably play like an hour, maybe an hour and a half a day. And I'd probably do that in like 2 pieces. So like 45 minutes, go eat, do some other work, 45 minutes more. And I do it in like 45-minute intervals. That's how I played through the game. But yeah, if you do one of the challenge modes for like 10 minutes straight, yeah, it adds up. A lot of us aren't used to throwing punches for 10 minutes straight. And even though you can kind of like tone it down a little bit, it's still going to add up. Let's see. I'm looking, what AAA games to look forward to in 2025? There's not really anything in 2025 that's really announced just yet. We'll see what happens. I mean, so Meta has not put their other studios to work yet, or at least that we know of. So the guys that did Defector, that studio, I'm expecting to see something nice from them. I think they did Defector and Wilson's Heart and like a smaller like Double Dragon style game. I'm curious to see what they've been up to. So we'll probably see something, from their other studios. I'm expecting Meta to try and push out like one big title a year. That's what I'm expecting. They bought all these studios, and they're cutting the fat. So like they let go some people or some studios that didn't think were pulling their weight or were costing them too much money. So that's my expectation. So we'll see something there. Resolution Games has an official D&D game coming out, but I don't know. I think when the announcement came out is when the deal was signed. So if that's the actual case, we probably have more than a year before we see that game. You know, you want to put at least 2 years on game development, especially they're using an official license. I mean, they can go the whole Demio route where they gave you the game, it's solid, but you have to wait for more content. I don't know if people get annoyed by that now. Well, I mean, we'll see what the case is. You've been alone and forgot it's Halloween. Oh, yeah, I forgot it's Halloween too. Damn. Let's see. Man, your latest video was how I learned the Alien Rogue Incursion team is the ones that made the awful Walking Dead Onslaught game. Bear, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but historically, Servios had some good games. I mean, they did Raw Data, which was a really early title ahead of its time. It's like the first game to have an actual campaign. That was actually a solid game for its time. It wouldn't hold up today, but a solid game for its time. They had Battle Wake back when multiplayer didn't work in VR. Battle Wake was a good game too. Ship to ship fighting. It was really fun. I think they did Bubble Bobble, which I don't know. I didn't play. They also did the Sprint Vector, which was solid. But Sprint Vector, I couldn't play. I was like, talk about cardio. And yeah, then they really dropped the ball with Onslaught. Arkham Age is due early 2025. Yep. So I'm pretty happy for that. Hello, VR legends. What's up, Q Creator? Thanks for popping in, man. Are you looking forward to any mixed reality games? I want to play, it's coming out this month, Augmented Empire. That looks pretty solid. It is a turn-based RPG that originally released on the Oculus Go. I definitely want to play that. Also coming out this month is Wonderwall. What is it? I told him the name's stupid. I'm never gonna remember it, but it's Wonderwall Town or Wall Wonder Town. I'm so annoyed. It's by the same group that gave us Hubris. I'm annoyed that I can't remember the name, but that's a really cool mixed reality. It's some of the best mixed reality graphics I've ever seen. Like, you're helping build a town. It's casual, but you're helping build a town, and you have little people like this, like walking around your furniture, and you gotta like grab them and put them on the floor and blow into the microphone to like blow wind. It's almost like you're a god figure to them, and the graphics are stunning. Like, the little dudes are awesome. Do you mess around with UEVR? Not that much. You know, I tried it a bunch when it came out, and my experience wasn't fantastic. I went through all the games, like, I forget, there was a piece of software that you can download with it, and it would tell you like a rating of how well the games, it would scan your library and tell you how well your games run with UEVR. And I tried all the games listed as A. Like, one of them was like Alien Fireteam, and even that I didn't think was great. Because like the controls didn't line up. It had a couple weird bugs. Like, during a loading screen, a gun was in my eyeball, and like I said, the controls don't match up. So I'm like, what the hell do I press to do things? And you're wasting all your bits. And then the multiplayer's dried up on that. So it's in a multiplayer only game. So I'm playing with bots. So it wasn't, yeah. Gunman Contracts 2025. I'm pumped for that. Early access is coming in 2025. And I did some voice lines for that game. I just hope they used them. I put down a ton of voice lines for that game, and if they don't use any, I'm going to be disappointed. Exo Cars, I'm not excited for because it's Joyway, and Joyway tends to drop the ball. That's my issue there. They tend to drop the ball, and they tend to not continue supporting their titles. So that's my issue. Oh, the mixed reality game where you make a cliff city. Yep, that's the game I was talking about, dude. What did I literally miss? Nothing. Missed nothing. Wall Town Wonders. I had all the words, I just not the order. I was like, Wonder Wall Town. Town Wonderwall. Yeah. Why is there blood all over my shirt? What are you talking about? No blood on my shirt. What are you talking about? This is my normal shirt. I'm really confused. This is my normal shirt, and this is my completely normal work tool that I bring to work every day. There's little spots on it. I don't know what they're from. They're red. Yeah, but they're just, I don't know, dude. Must be something on my camera, maybe? I don't know. Aside from well-known VR headsets, which niche VR headsets have you tried? I've tried 17 headsets. I've owned 17 at the time. I have this one right here. This is the Big Screen Beyond. Probably the most niche. I can't even remember the name right now. And Chinese companies love to have like stupid names for their products. It's like the Delta 4 QXY7, even though they've only made one model before. God, what was the name of the headset? It was really light, and it was supposed to be like 4K, but my tracking never really worked right. I gave it away to somebody, so I can't remember what the hell it was called. Someone will probably remember. But I've had 17 headsets. I've tried 3 different Pimax headsets. I had the Index. That was my favorite for the longest time. I've had everything that Oculus has offered except for their the CV1 and the Go. And I mean, those aren't niche. Big Screen Beyond. Oh, I've had everything HTC too, except for the Vive Pro 2, which I paid for and they never mailed to me. And then after a month of me bitching, they were like, you never bought one. And I'm like, you took my money. Here's the receipt. And then like, and I was like, you know what? Just refund me. Brother, here's the first one of the night. Mark Poppin, thank you, dude. Thanks. I really appreciate that. I saw that there's like this new goal feature. But I don't know how the heck that thing works. I just clicked it. I don't know what the heck that is. YouTube being YouTube. You've got red on you, Shaun of the Dead. Okay. Love the Halloween costume. It looks like you're a character from Double Dragon, and you had a fight. What costume are you guys talking about? I'm just chilling. This is just another normal day. My neighbors, let me tell you, if the zombie apocalypse came today, I would either there's no in between for me. I'm either like, oh man, I don't want to live in this world. Let's just off ourselves so we don't have to go through this pain and suffering. Or I'm going full like hardcore Negan, and I know the neighbors that I'm gonna sneak into their house at night and like kill them and steal all their stuff, and you know, hoard all that stuff and just be brutal so I could survive. I'm either one of those. I'm not sure which way I'd go. But you know, I got a family and I got to provide for them. So I'll do what it takes, man. A bit of lag. Yeah, so YouTube, I mean, whoa. Hold on. We are suddenly dropping frames. Suddenly dropping frames. Let's see. Stabilize. I'm gonna fix it with my mind. I'm still dropping frames. Freaking fucking Verizon. All right, it is. And then let's go to be right back. Gotta love the internet. Gotta love it, guys. Sorry about that. I can't tell you what happened. But the second I ran a test, everything came back to life. So I just ran the Xfinity test and things came back to life. I'm sure I lost my entire audience now. That was cool. Sorry, guys. You know, it's one of those things. Nice haircut. Genghis, I don't know what people are talking about. People are saying I got red on my shirt, that I got a haircut. I have no idea what's going on. I'm very confused today. And then the internet just decided to play a joke on me. It's now, the bandwidth is also like, it's insane right now. Normally it shouldn't be this high. I'm filming a Die Hard movie. That'd be cool. Genghis, what's up? What's up, girl? Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened there. Xfinity is being Xfinity. Honestly, I stream every week, so that's the first time we really ever had any issues. So I can't complain too much, but that was one major spike. We only lost like 20 people in that minute, so that's not bad. Anyway, I'm back, and Genghis pops in. She says one word, like maybe 2 words, and then she leaves. This is how it always goes. Maybe, I think, Minecraft VR when. Shut up, Genghis. It's like, I forget what one of those events. Everyone was just like, Five Nights at Freddy's VR, all the chat. Five Nights at Freddy's VR, one of the old meta gaming shows. But yeah, I think I'm going to up the response time or the stream latency for the next video, because I am always talking to you guys. I'm always answering questions. And there's like a 30-second delay, which is too long. You want your questions answered faster than that. She's going to be a pain in the ass half this time. Gorilla Tag is the best game ever. 100% the best game ever. So let's see. Any secret news on Demio, developer D&D? So I was talking about that, Dominator. So I think when they announced that Resolution Games was working with Wizards of the Coast on an official D&D game, I think that's when the deal was signed. So I think we're looking at another full year before we get anything. I didn't give enough candy to Verizon. Screw those guys. Any news on VRSO? I think we'll see that not too long from now. Gorilla Tag costume. Genghis, can you get me a Gorilla Tag costume? She got... Oh, that's what I should have put on. I should have wore a costume today. I should have put on my green Kirby costume that Genghis got me. She got me a green Kirby costume because she really wanted me to wear her pink one, but she's never showered that. Well, she doesn't shower enough, and she's never washed that thing, and she's always on a stripper pole and stuff. So I was not going into that thing. That thing's probably got a couple STDs. I was not going in there, so she bought me my own, which is very sweet of her, and I should have wore it today. You know, I really should have put on a costume. So what VR game is exciting again? I mean, for the next 2 months, we have, I mean, obviously Batman was awesome, but for the next 2 months, we have a bunch of exciting games. Fingers crossed for Alien Rogue Incursion. That can go south. Metro is going to be good. Is it going to be great? I can't say yet, but it's going to be good. On top of that, we also have Behemoth. Definitely going to be good. Same category. I think it's more likely that it's going to be great than Metro. I think Metro has the possibility of being like a little bland in the middle, but I don't know yet. I'm not speaking from real experience. Behemoth, I think, is going to be pretty damn exciting, pretty damn good. Let's see. See, and now Genghis is gone. See, she does a couple comments, and that's it. She's out. Let's see. You know, Oni, I think you're right. Like, Xfinity is a bunch of jerks when it comes to, like, and they've also been doing a lot of work in my neighborhood. But yeah, they're if they don't have to give you the bandwidth that you're paying for, they won't give it to you. Songbird VR game. Did you get to play yet? No, I didn't play that yet. And generally, if I did get to play it, we'd probably still be in embargo time, so I wouldn't be able to talk about it yet. Mr. Anderson, I don't know, dude. I don't know what happened, but there was a weird connection issue, and I don't know if it was on my side or I don't know if it was on YouTube side. The second I ran a Verizon test, things came back to normal. So, of Xfinity test, I keep saying Verizon. Anywho, I'm glad you came back, though. I'm glad you came back. I missed you. I mean, that little server hiccup right there was enough to like get half my people to leave the video. Metro will deliver. Okay. So, I keep saying Verizon, but it's Xfinity, Comcast Xfinity. So, because my brain don't work today, but yeah, it's it's annoying when stuff like that happens because you're just trying to do your thing. But we were talking about what games I'm excited for. So obviously Behemoth. Now this is the one I have hope for, but it's probably gonna completely fail to deliver, and that is the Starship Troopers Continuum. You know, that's from XR Games, the same studio that gave us Hitman 3 Reloaded. I think it's gonna go to hell. I think they delayed it and it's not gonna make it better. New bench record? Like, how much can I bench? Is that what that question is, VRAT? Um, I can probably bench maybe 250, maybe a little bit over 250. I don't push myself to a 1 rep max because it's asking for trouble, especially at my age. Did Behemoth get delayed on PCVR? I actually talked about this in a recent video. It's possible. It's possible. And I went for confirmation and it was like a no statement type of. So it's possible, but they are going to update us in the near future. If it got delayed, just live with it. I mean, it's for the right reasons. It got delayed so they can deliver a good product. And remember, they can make the PC version the best version. So give them the extra, 2 months or whatever, and let them deliver a very solid title. Okay? Don't let them do another Saints and Sinners Chapter 2, because that released meh. So you're not expecting much more than Quest Hitman 3 levels of quality. Yeah, no, that's quality. Definitely going to be quality, that game. It's going to be quality game. I mean, the fact that they're not showing any gameplay in their trailer, and when they had the guy who played Reese do like the announcement, the guy who was from the movie do the announcement, were they like trying to go with a Gen Z really bad green screen effect like you see on TikTok and stuff? Or was it just so half-assed they didn't care? Like, that's what I was wondering. No, I'm not. Everyone mentions Geronimo VR every once in a while, and I am not familiar with it. I don't have any inside news. I'm following what's it called? The people who made the other shooter that has been shut down. Onward, that team. I'm following their new game a little bit more closely, which looks still pretty early, but we'll see what happens there. Any chance for more Batman games? Another supervillain, not Rat King. I mean, that's 100% up to Camouflage. I don't make the game. It does look like they do have some plans, even some plans in the near future. Obviously, they got to iron out the bugs. I did a second playthrough, and I will tell you, my second playthrough still wasn't perfect. I had one crash the entire game, so that's fine. One crash. There's still some areas where, like, for half a second the sound cuts out, especially like when it's loading, really like heavy areas. And I just had some like these tiny progression blockers. Like, a door is supposed to unlock and it doesn't unlock, and then you just say reload chapter and then the door is unlocked. So that's like, there's still some issues they got to iron out. But it does look like they want to bring more content. At least that's the impression I got from them. So that would be cool. And if they do a DLC, I'd be down for that. But I don't know. I want to see them do more superhero games. Spider-Man? Maybe Spider-Man would be badass. Your wife won the Halloween fancy dress at the local pub last night. She isn't very happy at all, as she only came in to pick me up. Well, you know what? That's actually pretty awesome, man. That's actually exciting stuff. I'll take that. Let's see. Seeing as it's Halloween, what would be your number one recommend for best horror game in VR, particularly Quest 3? Once you said Quest 3, it kind of shut down what I was thinking, because Phasmophobia is fantastic, especially play it at night with a bunch of your friends tonight. Quest 3 horror games. Let's see. Quest 3 horror games. I mean, Paradise Hotel is definitely a good one. It's got like an old school Resident Evil type of vibe. I don't play a ton of horror games, and normally they're on PC or whatever, or PlayStation was the latest one I played. I don't know. Maybe you guys in the chat would know a little bit better. What is the one? Lies Beneath is a really old one, single player. It's worth checking out though. Still, it's still really good. Great sound design, cool graphics. But it was a Quest 2 game, maybe even Quest 1. Um, so probably Quest 2. But so maybe don't expect like the most beautiful graphics. So only they are pushing, and when I say they, it's Meta. Meta is pushing a big move towards Quest 3 enhancements right now. That's something they're working on. I know there's like 50 games that just got Quest 3 enhancements because they want the Quest 3 to shine. They want it to look really good. So there's like 50 games that just recently got updates or are getting updates. That's pretty solid. What do you think of NVIDIA 5000 series? Will it be worth upgrading from a 2080 Ti? Yeah. The difference you're going to see from a 2080 Ti is going to be substantial. Absolutely. It'll be a massive upgrade. It's probably, if you're going to go for like the 90 series, the 5090 series though, it's probably going to be like close to $2,000. It's going to be insane. Firewatch VR is not very scary when we're talking about horror games, but that's a game worth trying. And the VR mod is actually really good. It's got a few areas where it's a little meh, but overall it is a great game. I really enjoyed it. It's like intriguing stuff like that. Let's see. Best mixed reality horror, Drop Dead the Cabin, which is they have Drop Dead the Cabin standalone now, and it's 90% off. I think it's a freaking $1. I saw it on Twitter today. I reposted it. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. I'm looking at it. Drop Dead, Home Invasion, 90% off. Invasion 4D 6BD9 is the code to get 90% off. The game's a freaking $1. It must play. And a 600 watt TDP. So one thing that at least Intel is doing this. We won't see it on the NVIDIA side. But Intel was like, our electricity stuff got way out of hand. Went absolutely crazy. We need to correct that. And they did a lot of power efficiency for they renamed the Intels. So I think their biggest one is the 285. That's their premier CPU. So they did a lot of power efficiency, but this generation has no performance boost. In fact, it underperforms the 14900K in like games and stuff. Then again, though, that's if you're doing maximum frame rate where your GPU is in the bottleneck. So it shouldn't affect most people except for like the extreme competitive gamers who are still on a 1080p screen and want 400 frames per second. But anyway, that's annoying. There was another question that I wanted to answer there. I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Do GT5 VR mod exist? They do. There was an old one. I think it got canceled, and then there was a new one, and I haven't tried it in forever, so I couldn't tell you the current status. Lose reviews. I wish Meta would include DisplayPort connection. People have been asking that forever. And so when they did the HDMI connection, buy a capture card, do an HDMI connection, like 50% of the internet thought, hey, finally, it's the DisplayPort connection. And I made a little clip because I was actually at Meta Studios when they announced it, or the day before they announced it, and I got to try it. And I was like, what's the use case for this? And they're like, no use case. And I'm like, then why'd you do it? And they're just like, oh, we let our engineers, explore new stuff. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. But like, what do they expect you to use this with? And I'm like, huh? And he's like, well, I'm using it with my 3DS. And he had 3 adapters attached to get it to work with his 3DS. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like that, no. So, a lot of people, I made a little short, and a lot of people online are like killing me for like being like, you can't see the use case. You can't see this. I'm like, no, it's not about like, it doesn't have any use cases. it's niche. You got to buy a capture card. You got to buy a capture card that not everyone works. So you're going to, you got to get one with a power pass through because, everyone has a battery strap. Otherwise, you're going to watch 2 hours of something connected, wired to it, and then your headset goes dead and it's useless. So a lot of these things can also be done with software. So I just thought it was like a weird option, but so many people thought this was DisplayPort connection. And I think even Meta thought that's what, like, I think Meta thought HDMI input was what people really wanted when they really wanted DisplayPort direct connection to PC. Whatever. My rant. NVIDIA threw out all power efficiency a while ago. You're right. Yeah. When they had to make a new connector for these things, it's just like, what? They had to make a new connector that was lighting on fire. Yeah, that's when things get crazy. When you needed 3 8-pin connectors, yeah, it's nuts. Is it true that Microsoft gave up on VR? Pretty much. I mean, they don't support their mixed reality software anymore. Some of their headsets no longer work. Yeah. Womp womp. Yeah, Oni's right. Yuri, what's up? I'm good. How are you? You doing all right? So the 9800 X3D eats 285 for breakfast. Yeah, with a fraction of Intel's watts. You're right. It is pretty much a beast. That series is doing, yeah. And so Intel did this issue where like, we are the best. We are the best. We don't need to improve because we are the best. And they did this forever. And then like AMD slowly inched their way back up and then like just dropped a bomb. And they're like, we made some strides, man. We made some strides while you were sitting there gloating and, saying like, oh, we can never catch up because Intel was leagues ahead for the longest time. And AMD back in the day used to be the one that, ran hot and pulled too much power. And they made insane strides, took it in a really cool direction. Meanwhile, Intel's, jerking around with GPUs. And they were on their, God, what was it there? 14 nanometer forever. Like, they're like, yeah, we're going to have 11 nanometer chips next year and next year and next year. And all they did was refine the same chip for like 4, series in a row. So yeah, they dropped the ball for sure. I don't get this from Microsoft. They could really destroy PSVR with Xbox. I guess there's no money in it. That is the answer, man. There's not a lot of money in going into VR. PlayStation learned that lesson. I think they learned that lesson pretty damn hard. It's not even that the fact that you can't make money. It's they make so much more money in their other field, in their flat game industry. So why spend resources in an area that you're really not passionate about and is going to make you less money? It's just bad business. I'm sure there were people at Sony that were like, no, VR is really cool. We're passionate about it. I'm sure there's a group, but someone said, nope, your department doesn't make enough money. Womp, 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 womp. So that's how it goes. Dupre Bushnell. What are you talking about? Everyone's talking about Halloween costume, red stuff, new haircut. I don't know what any of you guys are talking about. I'm just chilling. This is another average day with me and my sledgehammer that was off screen. So I mean, I have a family member who works at Intel. Next time I see them, I'm actually gonna pick their brain and kind of see like, hey, where did things go sideways? And what's your opinion on that, going sideways? That's where I get curious. Let's see. What is your flat game of the year and your VR game of the year? I hope your day's going awesome. What up, Jimmy? My flat game of the year was almost undoubtedly Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, I'm a big D&D fan. I still play D&D with people in real life. I have a big D&D setup over here to the side of me that I've showed off a couple times. It's got a projector and it projects the game board and yada yada. I'm ranting again. But yeah, I mean, they just did an amazing job. You could play through that game like 15 times and still see new stuff. It's insane. So that's my game of the year. VR game of the year. Batman. Batman, unless, like the next three big games releasing outperform or, outshine it. Let's see. But clearly they see in 10 years time most games are going to be VR. I don't think that's true. I think flat screen gaming is here to stay forever. If anything, the VR will just be more of an accessory, which will operate like the TV screen. I don't think, like VR specific games are not for everyone. Like, you see how many hours people put in the, Black Ops. Black Ops 6 is out now. Black Ops 6002 is out now. No one could do like that much ducking and physically walking and just standing for those hours of the day and lifting a gun up. Like, your shoulders start to get tired, even with light controllers. So the average gamer is just not going to put in that much effort. So it's like I always equate the shooters to like paintball. I love paintball. Paintball's a ton of fun. Could you imagine playing paintball as much as you play, someone plays a first-person shooter like Call of Duty? It's just not going to happen. Not going to happen. Now, when it comes to Microsoft and VR, Microsoft has this weird thing where either they jump in too early or they jump in too late. They try to be the trendsetter, and then they're too ahead of the curve, and their product is, it's not ready. Hardware, software, it's not ready. It was too early. They did this with tablets. They did this with a bunch of other devices where they tried earlier and failed. Then other times they jump in too late, like they tried to make smartphones. Nope, too late. Sometimes, and Zune's another good example. Now, sometimes they jump in late, like Xbox, and there is room, and they succeed. But that they wait for an established market. And then what they do is what they're doing now. They're trying to corner the market by basically, making the subscription service such a great deal that they're forcing like everyone on there. But I think they're wrecking the quality of games by putting everything on subscription service. To give you an example, my game of the year, Baldur's Gate 3, they offered them $10 million to put the game on Game Pass. An absolute joke. I mean, that game still has tens of thousands of people playing it. It's a year later. And that game has made, hand over fist money. So 10 million, it's a joke. But some, developers feel like, holy crap, like, well, if every game's free, no one's going to pay for our game. Okay. For the Meta Quest 3 overclocked processing, how much room do you think the Quest 3 has to, okay. Let me try that again. For the Quest 2 Meta overclocked the processing, how much room do you think the Quest 3 has to boost in performance? Actually, I think they underclocked it for heat. That could have been the Quest 1, but there's not a lot of room. Trust me, there's not a lot of room. Talking the camouflage for Batman, they were like, Meta said push this hardware to its limits, and that's what we did. So, and I believe it. So, I don't think they're going to, I don't know, maybe. So they didn't boost it. If I remember correctly, they didn't boost it. They allowed it to its full capabilities. They used to keep it a little underclocked. Or they used to put some limits on it. So that I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that was my understanding. Anyway, moving on. With Steam and Meta being nice with one another, do you think the next Steam Deck will support wireless VR for standalone headsets? I mean, I don't think Valve wants to go against Meta because no one wants to do that. And to make a standalone only headset that they'd have to produce like the games for, it doesn't make sense either. If they can figure out, architecture that works with x86 architecture, that the Steam VR games can work on a standalone headset, and it's not like something that's like 10 pounds like the Apple Vision Pro, that's probably the direction they'll go in. I don't think they would because now Meta gives out their OS. I don't think they'd put a Meta OS on their headset. That's not their thing. And obviously, the Meta OS is going to use the Meta Store. That goes completely against Steam's entire business model. They want people, well, Valve's business model. They want people using Steam. So I don't know. I think it would be like a combination of, yes, it plays your flat screen games. Yes, it streams your Steam VR games. I definitely think it's going to have streaming capability. I mean, they made Steam Link for the Quest after all, which is a good like beta testing for them. So I think that's the, where they're going to go, but who knows? Thanks for the code. I don't have X Twitter, so did you know about the discount? He. Downloading now. Well, yeah, you gotta get on Twitter, man. Gotta get on Twitter. I don't like that it's X now, but Twitter was like my favorite platform, social media platform for the longest time. You look like a Batman villain. What is everyone talking about today? I don't know what's going on. I'm really confused. People are saying I got red on my shirt. I got Batman villain. I'm really confused. It's just another normal day at the office. Let's see. VR won't be the standard for gaming, but will be for entertainment. I'm with you on that. Let's see. For a 2 to 8 man team at 10 million sounds like a lot, but it's no. Yeah. 10 million is nothing. So to give you an example, like the average VR game is under 15 million, and people are like, oh, these games are all cash grabs and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the average. And then when you get to those like first party games like Batman, they're cranked up there for sure. Asgard's Wrath, Batman. Just look at the voice acting cast from Asgard's Wrath 2 was insane. I can only imagine what they paid for those guys. But when you get into flat screen AAA titles, we're talking about 200 million. Like Horizon Forbidden West. That game's budget was like 250 million, which is just insane. It's just insane. Valve has more money than other people, but Valve doesn't have Meta money. Meta is, when stocks are high, Meta's $1 trillion company. So, yeah. What did I miss? What's the costume? Or have you been in a fight? Time to play VR. You didn't miss much, just me rambling like normal. And no, I haven't been in a fight. I was working earlier with my trusty work tool. But that's it. I mean, maybe I'm a little sweaty, a little dirty, but business as usual, just chilling. Let's see. Do you think they will put Half-Life Alyx on PlayStation platform? I actually thought they would have. If it was going to happen, they would have did it by now. I really thought, because Sony and Valve play very nice together. Like, all of Sony's exclusives have been making their way over. I thought that would be a great game, like, for, especially bragging rights for Sony to be like, haha, we also have Half-Life Alyx, screw you, Quest. So I don't know how or why it didn't happen, because, like I said, they play nice together. And all the other Half-Life titles made it over to PlayStation. So that was weird. I expected it to happen. I don't know why it didn't. It's shitter now instead of Twitter or X. Do you think Meta will make a fantasy MMO? No. MMOs are just asking for trouble. The closest thing they have to will have to an MMO is like Horizon, their Horizon platform. Maybe they'll have some like MMO continuing type of experiences in there, but no one's going to want to develop an MMO. It is so much trouble, so much of a headache, and it doesn't jive well with the whole concept of VR. Like, you would think it would, but you need to really rethink things and restructure things and the amount of time people spend in the game. I mean, when what was it? Zenith released, I was there for the release, and it was pretty cool to see that many people in VR bouncing around. But 2 hours in after server launch, it was empty. because I was on PC and like 95% of people were on Quest, and their batteries went dead. And you just see like the world went from a world went from like, I don't know, my server population was like 120 people to like 10, which was just ridiculous to see. Do you think the Avalanche thing will be soon? No, no. Uh, so let's see. I've I've talked about streaming multiple times, and I think like the American infrastructure is just not ready. There's like we still have a lot of trouble getting decent streaming on flat screen games. It's decent for Xbox Live, but like I played Hi-Fi Rush on it and couldn't keep a beat. Like the latency was enough to screw you up that you can't keep a beat. It was playable, it was fun, but yeah, it wasn't. There's still latency there, and when you add that latency into VR, you're asking to make people sick. You're asking to ruin their experience. So it's a hard sell. I think they've been working on it for a while and they want to work on it, but they'd have to do like I think they'll be in beta when it pops out for a while. I'll never forget the first seconds in Alex when you look over the terrace, uh, over the French looking town. Dude, that is honestly that's stunning. That honestly is something else. And then like the Strider goes by. That game was so immersive. And that's one thing like when people say Half-Life Alex wasn't a good game, and I hear that constantly. It makes me want to pull my hair out. My completely normal black hair. So it makes me want to pull that hair out. And I'm just like, what are you guys talking about? Like, the game isn't good. Sure, it's got good graphics, but that's it. And I'm like, no, it's more than that. And they're like, it doesn't have physics. I'm like, yes, the world has physics. Oh, but you don't use weapons. Oh, okay. Who wants you could bat a head crab away. Who wants to punch a head crab? I ain't punching a head crab. So like, but it wasn't meant to be that. And it also had pretty damn awesome physics. And they were like, no, yeah, well, color on a wall. Oh, great physics. I'm like, all right, whatever, man. You just decided it's not a good game. If you can't see merit in Half-Life Alex, then you're beyond hope. There's one thing for a game not to be your style. There's a difference for it to be objectively bad. Soup of the day. What are we talking about? Soup of the day. Today's soup is New England clam chowder. Now, is that the red or the white one? Let's see what's going on here. What do you think would be the best mixed reality capture recording app that is easy to set up? Ugh. I mean, nothing. So, Live is good. Live really helps, and they've been working with Meta to integrate like a Live app directly into the Quest. I don't know what the status of that is. That's the only piece of software I know. And if you're doing it with PCVR and get a HTC Vive tracker, then it's actually really solid. It works really well. Otherwise, it's got a little bit of a pain in the ass setup, and you have to stay stationary. But if you have a Vive tracker, you could actually move around in 3D space, and it's cool. You could get some really good footage. It's not worth it for what I do, but I played with it in the past. It was really cool. Okay. With Vive bringing back DisplayPort, do you think Valve will go that route or do hybrid like the new? So I think anything, if Valve releases something, it's gonna be wireless. Maybe they'll have a DisplayPort option because people always ask for that. But when you get wireless good enough, like everything is about good enough. Like that's the whole motto of like the Quest. You just need good enough, good value, good price, good games. Yes, there's gonna be something out there that's better, but better usually leads into a price that's not for everyone. And you need a well established large platform to get the developers in. You can't have, like only 10,000 super high end machines out there. No one's going to develop for, only 10,000. When we're talking about millions, you really got to get into, a larger area for sure. So, yeah, I mean, you just need good enough. Onikazi caught my New England clam chowder joke. Okay. I really see that technology goes really fast. Do you think that we will get full dive VR like Sword Art Online? Uh, mm, 2030, 2035. I don't know. I think the whole world's going to go to shit before then. And we'll be lucky if we just have food. Forget VR upgrades. We got it good right now. And I am, obviously, I'm just joking with my pessimism, but that could happen. The world could go to shit. Sometimes some people are like, it's all going to shit already. And it's always going to shit and it's always getting better. It's a weird balance we got going on. But no, I don't think we'll have full dive in 6 years. There's no brain interface close to doing that. And Elon just keeps killing animals with his brain interface. So yeah. Do you think mixed reality will become mainstream or you think it will remain as a gimmick? I think it's going to become more mainstream because I think there's really cool applications for it. I think when they start doing more like mixed reality reskinning, so like you can scan your room, which it does now, like the Quest 3 will scan your room and it identifies things. It's like, that's a couch, that's a window, that's, and that's a table. So it's getting really good at that. And if you could do that and the games reskin things, so you still have your real life environment, but it looks like a medieval castle or it looks like whatever, a dungeon, whatever the case may be. I think that's when mixed reality will really blow some freaking minds. I think that's when, but we're, just like VR, the first few years of VR, it was a drought. We barely got any games. The games were super gimmicky. That's where I see mixed reality right now. That's all. We have to go through World War III first before we develop the tech. Yeah. We just gotta nuke ourselves and start over. So maybe in like 3,000 years we'll get there. We'll be around for that. So I was talking about time to play VR. I was talking about the cabin earlier, which is now standalone and 99 cents or just $1. They have a coupon code. I think it's for today. I'm looking at it right now. Halloween surprise drop, standalone home invasion, now live in the MetaQuest store. And there's a 90% off coupon. So yeah, it's on my Twitter page. If you're not following me on Twitter, what are you doing? And have you tried Custom Home Mapper? I tried it a little bit, not like enough, but I enjoy like mapping the world with both spatial ops, because I did spatial ops in a mansion with 9 other VR content creators. That was freaking awesome. So we mapped out the whole room and like we changed furniture into different things. And Laser Limbo, which is free on App Lab, I did I mapped my room and changed some stuff, and I thought that was really cool. So yeah, there's definitely some potential. Undoubted potential there. And I'm getting hungry because I'm a fat boy. I'm working on being less of a fat boy. It's my goal. Do you think the next Quest will go micro OLED or a different technology as the next upgrade push? So I've talked about in the past my reasoning, besides price, where I think Meta avoids OLED for now. New micro OLEDs may fix that. However, they're going to be on the too expensive side. So Meta's all about keeping their headset cheap and affordable and helping the industry grow. So to have the newest, latest, and greatest micro OLEDs in your headset seems unlikely unless they do a higher end version. Now, the other reason why they don't use current generation OLEDs is a lot of people, myself included, don't see the trade-off between the contrast levels, the deep blacks, and the high persistence. The high persistence, especially on like the PlayStation VR 2, is horrendous. It causes a massive ghosting effect, and I do not think it's ideal for gaming. I find it way more intrusive than blacks that look grayish. And again, I've said this 1,000 times on the channel, color is an interpretation. It happens in the brain. Now, there are ways of measuring color, but we have no idea if we all see it the same. We can all agree that looks red and that looks blue, unless you have some type of color deficiency with your cones. Cones see colors, the rods see black and white. Someone knows. Unless you have an issue with those where they overlap a little bit and they have trouble distinguishing certain colors. But we really don't know if it really looks the same. That's what's going on in our brain. We're just assuming, since we have similar hardware, it's going on the same. So anywho, let's another rant. So I don't think the current gen are ideal. The newer gen won't have that issue, but they're going to be expensive. So, will Meta be continuing on the practice of the next generation having cheap headsets? I just rambled about that. So they discontinued a Pro 2. So they decided that let's not pursue that. And I think they might do like what they do with, they might do a Quest 4 and a Quest 4S. So they consider their Quest 3 their premium product. So yeah, I don't think they'll go super high end, and I'm okay with that. Thank you, dude. Sup, ga. What's up, Felix? Thank you very much for donating, guys. I always feel really weird when someone donates, but yeah. Oh, look at that. So the target thing I set up with 10 donations, don't. We don't have to hit the target. I was just clicking stuff because I was like, ooh, this is a new tool. What the heck is this thing? But thanks, dude. I appreciate it. You're always here. You're always being a nice guy. Thank you. Okay. So, Tyler, I'm with you. I know there are people out there that would pay for a more expensive headset, but is it worth Meta's time and all their research and all the money it takes to develop for a product that's going to be niche? Probably isn't. And then at the same time, it really can't be much better than the current Quest generation itself. Otherwise, the development would be too different for it. Or what'll happen is, yeah, it's so much better, but developers who don't have a lot of money are like, well, we're not going to invest all that time to make a better version of our game for a potential, 1,000 or 10,000 extra sales. It all comes down to, economics, dude. It's crazy. Nah, I'm going to go, I'll go eat in a little bit. I'm good right now. I'm going to make it till 5 o'clock. I'm going to make 2 more hours. Like I said, fat boy on a diet. Greetings from Canada. What's up, Trevor? Welcome. Just bought Home Invasion. For $1, everyone should buy Home Invasion. It's fantastic. And they have a new game coming out, which is called The Last Stand, which is basically Home Invasion as a multiplayer PvP. Mark, cut it out, you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, dude. So I think the threshold on the target was $5 because I'm an idiot. But thank you, dude. Don't ignore all this stuff, okay? Stop it. I get weird when you donate. So, okay, Drop Dead the Cabin for $1 is fantastic. It's a great game. I absolutely love it. I play with my family. I got a video up on that. Watching my wife in there was hysterical. My kids were watching it on the TV and they were screaming. It was great. So it's a really good experience. You could play with a bunch of people, like spectator sport. But their new game is called The Last Stand, and it basically turns Drop Dead the Cabin Home Invasion into a PvP shooter. You are in your mixed reality environment. Zombies are trying to break in. They're trying to kill you. But across the way, across this virtual environment, like the one I played in was a mall, across the way, you see someone else on the internet, some other real life person, and they're doing the same. They're battling zombies. They're trying to say, but you're trying to shoot across the way and kill them. That's your main goal. So if you put too much focus on them, the zombies get you. If you put too much focus on the zombies, you're going to be getting shot and when you don't expect it. So it's absolutely fantastic. Love it. Paul, thank you for the donations. We donate because we want to. Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you. You guys know I do this for a living, so I do appreciate it. You're feeding my children. You're putting food on my table. The college fund for my kids is coming from you guys, so thank you very much. Let's see. Although not native, do you think with options like UEVR, helps in the lack of development from major game companies to where it won't really matter. No, no, I'm sorry. I mean, we put so much emphasis on UEVR, where we were like, oh, it's gonna be a game changer and this and that. The way UEVR functions is it's not like what Flat the VR Studio is doing, where we're adding new games into the industry. It still has too many hurdles to jump through for the average person. I know people are like, it's really easy. People are so lazy. No, any hurdle, it's all about being easy and simplistic and good enough. So when you add hurdles, you're asking for trouble. Like the enthusiasts will do it, and I tried it out and got it working and everything. It is pretty easy, but it's not for everyone, and it doesn't add more games into the library, and it doesn't work on native Quest. And I'm sorry, but if you want VR to grow, you want attention in VR, 95% of the VR community is on Quest. It just is what it is. I know some people feel like, where there's a PCVR elitist mentality out there, or maybe there is, or like the only real VR is PCVR. That's not the case, because all the future stuff is going Quest, unfortunately. Felix, you need my help? I can help you, brother. To the best of my ability. Just DM me. My schedule is nutty, but I promise to respond. I will definitely give you feedback on some concept art. Absolutely. 1000%. I will give you all the feedback. And I won't half-ass it. I'll give you real feedback. What are some of your hidden gem games on PCVR or Quest? I used to have this hidden gem that doesn't exist anymore, which is the weirdest thing to say. It was called Silicon Rising. It was from a Chinese company. It was a shooter with insane graphics, and I don't know what happened. It got pulled from Steam. And there's a version of it out on Viveport, which is broken, which doesn't even work. So it shouldn't be there. But it was awesome. I really liked it. Other hidden gem, I don't think it's really a hidden gem, but Until You Fall is fantastic. I love that game. Space Pirate Trainer, everyone should play. Demio, definitely not a hidden gem. Let's see. Less popular games that I really... Mother Gunship Forged is another good one. What are they? Oh, Cards and Tankards. Free to play. Really enjoyed that. Spent, like 40 hours in that. I don't know the current status of it, but I really enjoyed it. I can't think of any more right now. Got the DM, man. I will check it out and give you a response. Yeah, Gregory. I mean, when you got to get a PC involved and you got to make people jump through hoops. And recently, everyone on YouTube who put the GitHub link to UEVR got hit by YouTube. They pulled my UEVR video and they listed it as a potential scam or get rich quick scheme. And like I put in an appeal and they just instantly rejected. And I'm like, I don't even care. I'm not even going to try. Until You Fall is a great secret fitness game. It really is. Just make sure you switch hands. Like usually I would go sword, and I'm trying to think what other weapon I brought. Sword and mace I'd normally go. And just after a round, switch to mace and sword so that you balance out your striking and blocking. That's the only thing I say. The image is going to delete after 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to click it. I'm going to click it. Damn! I'm clicking all these images. Let's see. Some of them say page doesn't exist. Actually, most of them say page doesn't exist. But the last link did work. And I will say that style of art is going to be good for some, but not me. Look, I'm blushing, okay? Maybe you tone it down a little bit in the region below the neck. You tone it down a little bit. That's just what I'm saying. Otherwise, unless that's what you're going for and you're looking to incorporate physics, particularly jiggle physics, then I see I'm picking up what you're putting down. Trevor Max Mustard is another solid game. Moss is fantastic if we're going that route. Lies Beneath is another sleeper for sure. I mentioned it earlier in the stream. The graphics on Quest though were just the. So if you have Drop Dead the Cabin, you already have Home Invasion. It came free. You already have Home Invasion, dude. So this is So Home Invasion is now standalone. They just made it standalone, which is something I told them to do forever ago. But it's now standalone. But if you have Drop Dead the Cabin, you have Home Invasion. It came in an update a while back. So I wouldn't say it's not. Yeah, we might want to say it's not safe for work. If someone walked by your computer screen and saw that on the screen, I don't know if they'd have to involve HR, but you're going to get some glances, some questions maybe. So, yeah. Made me blush. Damn, was my first response. Oh, you know what's another hidden gem that actually just dropped? Underworld Overseer. That's actually really cool. That game has like sucked me in, and like an hour goes by and I'm like, wait, what happened? What? It's been an hour? Kind of that used to happen in Cities VR, or no, Little Cities. Little Cities VR was complex to the point where it's like trying to kill you. But Little Cities was another one where it's just like your brain shuts off and you got nice music. You're like, I'm building a nice little city. Life is good. And then an hour went by. I played it on a plane ride. And when I was going to the UK, I was playing it when I was coming home from the UK. I was playing on the plane ride and I was just building my city and I was having a good time. And then they shut the lights off because it was night and I lost tracking. Any advice on starting and growing a YouTube channel? Don't do it. No, I'm kidding. Okay. You're going to need a thick skin. You're going to need patience. You should expect the fail. Failing is the best way to learn. There is a significant importance on thumbnails and titles, which sucks, but it's the way it is. So, your thumbnails and titles are like two ways to hook people. You want to make a thumbnail that is intriguing but not misleading, and you want a title that adds on to that. So I don't have a good example right now, but it's like, like you're pointing. I hate the stupid faces, but even I do it sometimes. So you're pointing to like a mystery item, or it's like, why is this device my favorite device is the title. So you're holding the device and it's like, so like you see it and people go, oh, what's that device? And then they read the title and it says, oh, this is the new favorite device. Well, I want to find out what his new favorite device is. And it's an intriguing way. And it sucks that you got to play this game, but it's the world we live in. So that is something that you got to work on. You also need to find your niche, like how you fit in. You can't just post content. Like, why do people want to watch it? I can watch a million different people's content. Are you funny? Do you like find all the secrets? Do you have tips and tricks? What is it? And if you're providing something that people want or is entertaining, then they'll come back for more. But if you're not doing either of those, you're shit out of luck. Propagation Paradise Hotel. Yeah, that's definitely on the, list. Do you remember a dude who was advising you some time ago to show your face on your videos? I've always showed my face on my videos. I mean, like, some videos I don't, but I've always shown my face at least occasionally. But was that you, Masters? If it was, hey. But I do show it a little bit more often now. I follow you for the latest news. Yeah, because it's something people are looking for. That's why you follow. And I try and provide a different variety of things that people may want, like game reviews and, list of the best RPGs, or whatever the case may be. So I try and, provide different things that people may want rather than just the news. Because the news does dry up every once in a while. Let's see. At least we seem to be past the X changes everything thumbnail cards. So it's weird because it's weird. There's trends. And it's some people copying off of others. Like someone did a really successful thumbnail and people are like, shit, I want in on that. And they copy it. And everyone's copying off everybody. I try and not look at other people's content to avoid doing that. Because sometimes you do it like unconsciously. You saw a really cool thumbnail. And then like 3 weeks later, you're like, oh, I should make a thumbnail like this. And you don't even realize it's very similar. But everyone's start to blend together after a while. So you go through weird trends like that. And yeah. Okay, so Trevor, you in costume or did your maid quit? You know what? My maid is gone. Ugh. My maid was like here earlier, but she's not around now. I can't go into specifics, but she's not around right now. And I need to clean this hammer. But no, I mean, like, I don't know what you're talking about, costumes. Practical advice. Well, I'm here for practical advice. You've done an amazing job. People still always give me crap for everything I do. Don't show your face. Don't you talk too much. Talk less. Talk more. It's the nature of the internet. Your thumbnails are all clickbait. You know, why'd you use AI in one of those thumbnails? You can do no right on the internet, and at the same time, you'll get people who support you no matter what. So you just deal with it. You enjoy my my content variety. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying not to overblow anything. When I'm excited about something, I'll let you guys know it. When I'm not excited, I'm not going to downplay it, but for a while people are like, you're too pessimistic. And I'm like, I'm just being real, dude. Like if a piece of hardware or a game had shit sales, I'm just telling you it had shit sales. This isn't me picking on the game. This is just facts. You thought I was hurt? What? No, I'm completely fine. I'm just fine, man. Oh, someone said to put my face in the beginning of the videos. I do. I don't. Lately, I do montages in the beginning. What do you think is right and let others discuss it? Do what you think is right and let others discuss. Yeah. Yep. That's probably a pretty good plan. Okay, you're new to VR. Just got a Quest 3. I'm baffled at why there are no ways of buying and watching 3D movies. Seems like a perfect use case for VR goggles. Meta loses their mind when you say goggles. Without doing all kinds of hacks. Yeah, I mean, actually, you can go to big screen and you can watch 3D movies. So, big screen, it used to be big screen beta, but now they're big screen. They have 3D movies in big screen, but I think I think some of them are free. You could just go in and watch a movie with people, and if people annoy you, mute them, and just go in and watch a movie. It's not ideal. It's not like full control, but it's something. Exorcist Legion, Ed, that's an older game that was terrifying, and I never played through it. And I know they enhanced it, and they were supposed to have a co-op version coming out like a year ago, and I don't know what happened to it, but yeah, that game will make you poop your pants. What HMDs do you own? Which ones don't I own? To date I've owned 17. So this is PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, HTC Vive, HTC Pro, HTC Cosmo, HTC Focus Vision, Vive Focus Vision, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Valve Index, Big Screen Beyond, Quest 1, 2, 3, Quest 3S, Rift S, Pimax 8KX, Pimax Crystal, and one other Pimax. And that's, I believe, everything I've owned. Oh, I've owned, I can't even remember the name, but I've owned some like weird knockoff one, and I gave it away. Those are my headsets. Big screen's been looking good lately. They've improved it. I got to check. The edge-to-edge clarity was rough. It was rough. And it's a high persistence OLED, which I don't like. Do you have knowledge on any other apps that are in development to bypass Windows mixed reality issue? Nope. Nope. I got nothing. It sucks to be like, well, just upgrade. Do you own Virtual Boy? No, but I played Virtual Boy as a kid. It was terrible. It was, brain pain inducing. It split your skull. And it was just red and black. Scottish Gamer VR, good evening. What's going on? How you doing, buddy? Can you play on Quest 2? What are we playing on Quest 2? Oh, so some people have been playing Batman on Quest 2. I bet you, it would be a piss poor experience. Like, it's going to run, it runs 72 frames per second on the Quest 3. I know there are ways you'd get it to run faster, but I can't. I mean, maybe the dynamic resolution really helps on the Quest 2, but then it's going to look like poop. And then you're going to get some pretty low frame rates. I'm guaranteeing you're going to get a lot more stutters and you're going to get a lot more crashing. Meta really needs to advertise the gaming part of the device more. I understand they're a social company at their core. Really? You don't think they... Because, all the commercials that I see are just for games, but maybe I'm wrong. There was a Virtual Boy emulator floating around. Yeah, you could skip that. I don't think that's worth your time. Yeah, I mean, you could probably tweak those settings to get Batman running on Quest 2, but I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, in Scotland, what is it? Well, we have the weird time change now. So what is it, like around 8:30 there? So did you guys switch to daylight savings times yet? I know the UK did. And normally we're 5 hours apart. So, but now we're 4 hours apart for the next few days. Yeah, I mean, listen, a lot of times there are video games that say minimum requirements are, and I've got plenty of games to run below minimum requirements. I've got plenty of games in my day, and some ran quite well, quite playable. What is it? Throne and Liberty plays pretty damn fine on my Steam Deck. That is some wimpy hardware, and Throne and Liberty is a really good looking game. So the fact I played it in a car ride home from New York City on a hotspot, a freaking hotspot on an MMO and a Steam Deck. And I was able to just go around leveling up, doing my basic tasks. So that's pretty crazy. Yeah, we switched this week, Oni. Yep, the Switch is coming up. With the meta upping their GPU abilities, do you think they are pushing it to the fullest in games like Batman and Asgard's Wrath 2? Or do you think they could go harder? I think they could find better optimization, but I don't think they could go much harder. From what I've heard about Batman, basically Meta said push the Quest to its limits, and they said we are pretty darn close. Any hype for Midnight Walk? The claymation horror game. I'm not familiar with it, but a claymation horror game. Oh, actually, I've seen that. Yeah, that style looks creepy as hell. Claymation gives you almost like that uncanny valley sensation, so it makes it way extra creepy than it needs to be. So yeah, there's some potential there. All right, guys, it's been 90 minutes. This is normally where I start calling the stream. So get your last second questions in. And also, see that link that was just dropped by my Streamlabs bot? If you guys are ever looking for any products or games, I update that list constantly. It's basically all the affiliate link and all the discount codes I have. I drop them in there. If you guys are buying a game, you can click one of the links in there. Sometimes I have discounts. Most of the time I don't on games. But if you're following me on Meta, I usually have my friend referral code, which is 20% for the first few people, and then I think it drops down to 10%. That's something. But also there's like lots of really good hardware there. My long-term sponsor, Kiwi Design, they just sent me their new K4 Boost strap, which is pretty badass. Great battery on there. You get a ton of extra hours. And it charges really fast too. So if you play a lot, I highly recommend it. But enough about my affiliates. But just check the link if you're looking for anything. I have everything in there, and it's just, I'm always trying to put the best discounts I can find. And obviously it helps support the channel because they're all affiliate links. So thank you guys. Let me answer any last questions, and then we're going to call it. You're trying big screen now. How do you find 3D movies? I just search around. You should see them. I haven't been in big screen in a little while. How do you feel about Batman Arkham Shadow being fully playable and running fine on the Quest 2? We just discussed that, Bear. It's not really fully playable and perfectly fine on the Quest 2. It's not. So what Arkham Shadow accomplished, I wonder what will be possible with Quest 4. Yeah, future's bright, man. Future is definitely bright. Who did you kill? Confess. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. It is just another typical day at the office. What is the best of VR movie for you? Oh, I don't know. VR movie. I don't know, but this week in Horizon, they're showing their 3D horror show. I think it was a multi-episode like TV series, Faces of something. I'm trying to remember. That's been playing for free in Horizon all week. So you might want to check that out. Triangle Strategy is awesome. So they sent me a code a while ago, but they sent me a retail code. And I've just been waiting to play it. So I will have a video on Triangle Strategy coming in the near future. The next gameplay video is, of course, going to be Metro. So Metro, Triangle Strategy, it's going to be a little bit later. But that looks right up my alley. Did you hear about the Voltron movie? No, I did not. But I'm going to be calling it, guys. I'm going to be calling it. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you guys for just continually supporting me. I would not be able to do this without you. I really appreciate you guys. This is freaking awesome. I don't know what all those questions about blood stains or haircut or any of that was about today. I don't know. You guys are being weird. But besides that, everything's been really awesome. Had a really fun time, really fun stream, except for Xfinity hiccup that happened earlier. And everything else is good. Thank you guys. And I will see you on next week. Get your questions ready for next week. Peace. I'm going to click this thing. There's something here and I'm going to click it. I'm going to change all this stuff in the future. We're going to make the stream cooler. Bye-bye.